We spent 30 days together really fucking grinding it out, really coming together and locking arms. But this stuff right here is what matters when getting information like this to as many people as possible that need to hear it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to day 30 of the free 30-day challenge inside of the Uncaged free group. We officially made it. And so really what I want to do is recap a lot of the information that we went over, but more specifically why we went over it and the way that we went over it. As you will have noticed that we had two main different types of trainings that we went through in this. Very action step based, where you were provided assets to be able to follow along. And it was a direct action that you could be taking almost immediately, whereas there was also types of trainings where you had to think creatively and for yourself. You had to get the gears turning. You had to go out and apply things. Yes, we may have provided some screen shares or some screenshots for you to kind of follow along with and some step-by-steps, but this was stuff where you had to get those creative juices flowing and turn into that 1% better version of yourself every day that we went through this. So again, some of it was some assets that you either printed off or you wrote down in a notebook or you put in your notes, got on a Google Doc, whatever the case is, but you were able to follow along with the homework that was provided and the steps that were provided, and see also the like Uncaged, like sexy graphics that we had created, kind of take the more basic homework and put it a little bit more on brand for Uncaged. And then there were some where you had to sit back, honestly, probably, and think open-minded, like, gosh, shit, how does this apply to me? But that's what's beautiful about Uncaged and the way we've created this is, albeit we give a lot of information, some of it can be like drinking from a fire hose. Some of it might be right for one industry and wrong for another, or whatever the case is. So none of us are coming in with some ego attached to us that thinks that we know it all and that everything that we say goes, but it is an opportunity to show you what we either did right or what we either did wrong, and it's up to you to take that information as your responsibility as a fucking man to internalize it for yourself, test it, apply it to your life, and see if it works. Maybe you need to adjust it. Maybe you need to adapt. Maybe you need to do something else, but it is at least a push in the right direction. And Uncaged, like, we believe that there's information we can learn from anybody and everybody. It might be what not to do right, or what they did wrong, or what not to do, or it might be what they did right. And I'll be honest, a lot of these people, the most valuable information you can take from them is what they did wrong. Some people openly talk about it, right? Like, some people will come in, be vulnerable, be honest, be transparent, say, man, like, I tried this, I did ABC, XYZ happened, whatever the case is, and it didn't work. Hopefully that doesn't, this information can save you from some of this heartache and the mistakes that I've made, as well as here's what I learned from the situation. Here is what I was able to take from that, apply it to my life, and what I found eventually did work for me. Now, no one is going to say, like, you have to do it that specific way, and if you don't do it that way, it's the highway. No, this is what works for them in their life, specifically, personally or professionally. This is just a route for you to go down. And you might have to pivot at some point. You may have to make an adjustment. You may have to think differently because you're in a different industry, a different age of your life, a different economic status, different success level, different geographical area, whatever the case is. But this type of information is for you to take and internalize. Now, I want to talk about, like, again, just kind of briefly and holistically, like, the importance of Uncaged and why we are where we are today, specifically providing you with this 30-day challenge, because as you all heard, Uncaged started with just a regular iOS group chat with a cell phone, myself, two other guys, again, end of the year, best health, best wealth, making more money than we had ever been in our entire life, as well as we added an additional group of people in, like, man, maybe this was a fluke, maybe we accidentally, like, just all won at the same time, whatever the case was. We wanted to make sure that we could have additional people come in and basically stress test us to see if this worked. So we came in and we realized that there is a lot of value in surrounding yourself with like-minded men, which is why we have the homework set up the way we do, is that we are being out there in front of everyone and able to open ourselves up for conversations and produce communication along, like, what could be done better. What could we learn from this? What have you seen maybe directly attached to some of the pieces of homework that I've provided? that you could offer some insight and some clarity in so that I can save myself some time, right? And so it's about surrounding ourselves with these like-minded men. And again, I'm not going to go into all of it, like, the law of averages and things like that we do truly care about and that we're seeing that's happened here. But then what we really wanted to do is have sounding boards that for men to be able to hear us, right? A lot of times it's hard to go to some of our like lifelong friends and brag about winning a $50,000 deal or whatever the case is, or closing it, because they think you are trying to brag, or they think that you are trying to one up them, or that you think that you are better than them when it's not the case at all. Like this is something that is a reward for us, that seller's high, that dopamine, serotonin, and cortisol that is released when you get some good news and you want to go share it with someone else, but then you have like-minded people that are surrounding you and you don't get to have that fulfillment of truly feeling validated for the amount of effort that went into getting the output that you received. And so Uncaged has garnished this opportunity, this ecosystem of men that want to hear other men winning. And men are also willing to explain where they have made mistakes and the lessons that they learned from it, and vocalize that so that hopefully it saves someone else from going down that path. And so that's what's really been awesome about the community and the way it's been put together. And, throughout that process, like, we understood in Uncaged, like, especially the VIP program was the first program that we created because we wanted people to have skin in the games. We wanted people to take it serious because, when we actually first started, there was the beta test guys actually got thrown into VIP for free, and there was some people that kind of got gifted VIP along the way. And then we realized that the people that got given it to them, they didn't take it serious. They didn't have enough skin in the game. So albeit while our mission is to make this type of information as accessible to as many people as possible, we also had, going back to the auxiliary, we had a responsibility to the men that were joining to actually fulfill what it is that they were claiming that they wanted, and having that skin in the game was enough of a pain point and a threshold for them to actually take it seriously, which means actually applying the stuff that they're learning so that they can grow from there. And so throughout this entire process, it's why it's priced the way it is. That's why it does cost something, but then also that's why there is a free group. And more importantly, that's why there's a free 30-day challenge, because ultimately, who are we to not want people to progress down that journey of Uncaged where they, you need one-on-one attention. Okay, let's get you a one-on-one BAP coach, but maybe you can't necessarily afford it, but you still need a human being to hold your feet to the fire. Okay, cool. That's what the accountability advisor and the accountability manager is for. Okay, maybe you're not quite there yet, but you do need something that keeps you on track on your critical tasks so that you can one day be able to afford that. Beautiful. That's what the critical task accountability program is. Okay, maybe you're not 100% there, but you do understand the value of having a group of like-minded men around you like this, especially the ones that do have skin in the game, because there is a difference there of like free group efficiencies, free group camaraderie, free group accountability to the ones that do have skin in the game, but maybe you can't quite, swing the $3.23 a day. Okay, cool. Here is a free group. Here are the assets and the skill sets and the tools that you need, like the free 30-day challenge, like the community, like the monthly calls, like everything that's inside of the free group that helps you go from where you are now, which is, nothing to your name, to being able to afford $3.23 to be able to reinvest back into yourself to take it to the next level. You get in and then you grow from there, and then you get in and then you grow from there, and you get in and you grow from there, and you grow to this point where you can handle having an accountability coach. You can handle to have a BAP coach. You can handle to have a group of hundreds of other like-minded men that you sit in on roundtable calls with every week. You sit in on expert calls every week, and you sit in on daily chats to be able to communicate back and forth and have hundreds of men at any point in time in your back pocket, all across the world, all different work schedules, all different walks of life, all different time zones, so that at any point in time you have 10 to 20 like-minded men to be able to respond immediately to whatever you're dealing with. You have access to quarterly events where you get to go break bread with real brothers that actually care about you and really take actionable steps when it comes to these events, because our events are completely different. You go to all these other networking events and it's just like cram a bunch of people into a conference room for 3 days, and it's just shove as much banger information that maybe that they'll quote you and take a picture of you and promote your personal brand for the speakers, but you go in and you're listening to 6 speakers over the course of 3 days, and you're just miserable, you're tired, and it goes in, notes go into a notebook, and it never gets seen again, and it goes on a shelf somewhere, and you never take action. Whereas all the true value comes from the networking and meeting the other people and building your network and building those relationships and investing into other people so that the law of reciprocity comes back to you. And all the true values at the hotel bar, at the hotel lobby, in the elevators, at the breakfast, the lunch, at the dinners, at the after parties. Like, that's where it is. And so, like, holistically, our events are like that. Yes, there's training. Yes, there's action steps. But we also record all the retreats so that way you can go back and take notes later. Because at this point, we're wanting you to operate a different part of your brain where you say, all right, cool, I hear what he's saying over here, but what if it happened like this? Because that's what actually my organization or my personal life operates like. And I want to ask a specific question. So now you get the opportunity to think with a different part of your brain, to be able to take information and truly apply it to your life to the point where it actually means something to you. And I'm saying all this stuff because Uncaged to this point and what we've seen has been built on what we are hearing from people like you. And the entire journey that we've gone down the last 30 days is taking the science and the psychology and applied it to why these fundamental, truths behind Uncaged, why we're on our mission, why we have this vision, and it supports the real work that we're doing here, right? And so for me, what's really cool is the reason we came up with our 6 pillars, health, wealth, and relationships, making money, and saving time, is because, at the time of this recording, I spent 18 years in the marketing industry, worked for some incredible businesses, and learned a lot, spent tons of money, made tons of money, lost tons of money, and what we were able to learn, and especially taking some of the common knowledge that we had in the industry is the 3 biggest industries in the world are health, wealth, and relationships. So we know this statistically. We know that the most amount of people need the most amount of help with these 3 areas, right? And so it's how do we come in and help people in a very real way in the areas of their health, right? Financial health, physical health, mental health, what can we do here, right? What is it that you need spiritually, spiritual health, whatever you want to call it? Health holistically. Wealth, why would you have a wealth section when you also have making money and saving money? Because wealth comes from many different things. It's not just associated to a dollar sign. It's who are you to your core. It's like, as a person, what do people say about you behind your back? Like, how are you building wealth in the world? Do you go to bed at night? Are you riddled with anxiety and depression? How do you wake up? Do you wake up and you instantly get thrown into a panic attack because you understand that you're not doing the things that you need to be doing in the rest of your life, therefore you're not having a wealthy life, right? Wealth doesn't necessarily have a dollar amount associated to it, but it is extremely important. And there are a lot of different aspects that go into that do make someone wealthy. Even just simple things like insurances and protections that take care of your family, that makes you as a fucking man wake up feeling wealthy. That no matter what happens to me, my loved ones are taken care of, right? We go into everything that is associated with that. And then relationships, of course, relationships with your spouse, relationships with your children, relationships with your coworkers and your employees, your prospects, your clients, relationships with strangers. What does that truly look like for you? And how do you associate and hold yourself high, and what type of standard do you set as a fucking man when your relationships are at focus? And then making money, saving time. We understood that if you have a product or a service that could help you make more money than it costs, you would do that deal all day long. As well as if you had a product or service that could help save you money than what it costs you. You would do that deal all day long. Lastly, what do you value your time at? $5 an hour, $10 an hour, $100 an hour, $1,000 an hour. If it can help you save that amount of time to be able to buy it back, to be able to reallocate it to a higher profit producing task, to be able to give it into something, time allocation to something that truly makes you more wealthy, like pouring into your family, pouring into your loved ones, pouring into your friends, pouring into strangers, pouring into your team, supporting staff, in a better way to help increase their ability to do higher profit producing tasks. Like, what truly does that look like? And, so for an Uncaged, like when we originally started, again, it was just a regular iOS group chat. From that point on, we were saying, all right, we now see that like it is growing. This regular group chat is growing year over year to the point like where we need to take it to a different platform. And we are seeing that the people that aren't truly bought in, that don't have skin in the game, that aren't actually showing up and engaging and involving themselves, they're not reaping the rewards. And it's our responsibility, because we're so convicted about the good that we are creating and the lives that we are changing in this just regular group chat. How do we get this type of information out there into the world, and how do we talk about this movement? So we've got to do something more, because we're going to have to charge for it. We're going to have to create a high enough pain threshold that the people take it seriously, because they feel like they're losing if they don't. Because I'll be honest, at $97 a month, if you never involve yourself, of course it's a waste of money. And we don't want that. And $97 a month, we are staying on mission by making this type of information as accessible to as many people as possible. However, we're making it as affordable as we can with a high enough conviction rate that people take it seriously. Because if you don't ever apply it, then what are we doing here? And we don't just want the $97 a month. We want the changed lives. We want that law of averages. We want people to take it seriously, because those are the level of men that we want that law of averages. The better we are individually, the better we will be collectively. The better we are collectively, the better we will be individually. That's what we want. So we want people to want to have skin in the game. We want people to take it seriously. We want people to be real. Right? And so now we have this opportunity where we're like, we're convicted about it to get the message out there, but we're also convicted about it that it actually works, that people actually apply what they're learning to their lives, and what it's like to have an accountability group to keep them in the gym, to keep them focused on building their wealth, to keep them on having a stronger relationship with their spouse, whatever that looks like. We want them to reap those rewards, but they have to put in the work to do so. So how do we do it? Well, we have to charge money. Well, we can't just charge money for a group chat. As important as that is, and as much value as some of the members in Uncaged say that this in VIP provides. But what else can we do? Well, we can bring in experts to help educate us on health, wealth, and relationships. They can teach us how to make more money, save more time. So now what does that look like? All right, beautiful. We have this incredible opportunity where you get day-to-day interaction and day-to-day accountability with other like-minded men, but then you get to get on a phone call and learn actionable takeaways where you can take it and apply it to your life from week over 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 week. And you start to break that down. And so we basically spend 4 weeks on each topic, 4 weeks in health, 4 weeks in wealth, 4 weeks in relationships, 4 weeks in making money, 4 weeks in saving money, 4 weeks in saving time. So that's 6 months worth of education there, 4 weeks on each of our 6 pillars. And then at the end of the year, the second half of the year, we follow back and go through it again. So now you're talking about 8 huge opportunities for you to truly learn something. Not only that, we offer quarterly retreats. So that's another 4 weeks on top of that. So you're talking about 12 opportunities to solve major problems in the areas of your health every year. Again, Uncaged is focused on becoming 1% better daily. That 1% better daily is you have now, in a full fiscal year, you have 12 opportunities to solve major problems in your health. 12 opportunities to solve major problems in your wealth. 12 opportunities to save major opportunities in your relationships. 12 opportunities to learn how to make more money. 12 opportunities to learn how to save more money. And 12 opportunities to learn how to save more time. What does that look like for you? Yes, you're going to have time associated. That's 108 hours over a given year. $97 times 12 months, $1,164. It's very hard for me to understand that the value of just being around like-minded men in the group chat alone is not worth more than $1,164 for you, as well as the expert calls and the retreats. So that's now, that's 108 expert calls that you're able to get on. It's 108 calls total. It's 52 roundtable calls and 52 expert calls. Again, I haven't gotten to the roundtable calls yet, but that's 52 opportunities for you week over week over week to focus on getting better in one of those 6 areas of your life, which are historically the most important with the most pain points statistically, as well as statistically, we know that if you can receive more than money than it costs, save more money than it costs, or whatever your time is valued at, say more. It's a minimum that you should be getting a 3x ROI out of here. A fucking minimum. We've had some guys that the first month has paid their entire dues based on information they've got entire year. We've had some people that have said just one call has done so. There's access to information here with these experts that are absolutely insane. We've had billionaires come. Not only did the billionaire come, we had to adjust the entire call by 30 minutes for him and said that we would only get 30 minutes of time. Within that time frame, he actually had live on the call, texted his assistant, told him to cancel his next appointment and spend an entire 90 minutes with us, a fucking billionaire, because of the quality of the men that were in the group. What does that say about us, right? What does that say about the power of the men that you are surrounding yourself with, or at least have the opportunity to surround yourself with? Outside of that, we've had people, Brandon Bowski, 32 years old, runs $100 million a year company, right, that he founded, charges $50,000 an hour, come and sit down and hang out with us because of a referral of one of our other fucking members. Because that's the quality of men that you surround yourself with, that their Rolodex has people that just a simple referral. These people are dedicating $50,000 worth of their time to come and sit down with us and help educate us. We've had several multimillionaires, specifically first generation multimillionaires. So, in Uncaged, we don't believe in self-made, but like crew-made, but first generation multimillionaires that have gotten on because they've been nominated as an expert from another member. They got on. And literally on the call, they're like, send me the fucking link to this group. I didn't know anything like this existed, and I want a part of this. Dude is already successful to most people's eyes. First generation multimillionaire wants in. That's happened multiple occasions with other multiple millionaires. One of which that was like the quality of the questions that were being asked when we got to Q&A is the reason we joined, because the expert calls are very formatted. 30 minutes of lecture and 30 minutes of Q&A, which we call selfish Q&A. Don't ask some dumbass question you think everybody on the call needs to hear. General question is going to get a general response, is going to get a general action that's taken to it, and it's going to help no one. Ask yourself this question. It's based on you and your life, and it's going to change the trajectory of your life. He said the quality of questions that were asked was the reason that I joined. Not only that, we've got, United States representative, Olympic gold medalist, fastest person in the entire planet is what they were titled, beating like Usain Bolt, like high quality people that are coming in, that came in to do expert calls and were like, dude, I didn't know anything like this existed in the world. I need to be a part of this. These otherwise are people that most people would look at and say, these people are successful. They've already made it. What else could they learn? They understand the value of being surrounded by like-minded men. Right? And it's been a beautiful thing because we have other people from other groups that have come in and joined, tested it out, gotten a taste of it, and said, dude, I've spent $40,000 a year. One of which said they spent, $5,000 a month, $60,000 a year, plus travel, and didn't get the same level of time and attention, dedication, camaraderie, respect, and brotherhood that they got here. $40,000 to $60,000. $100,000 invested per year out of 2 people that collectively said that this is the best, most impactful decision that they've ever made, and now are a part of this program and are running rampant in the VIP group. These are people that can afford stuff like this, that are in the group, that love this, that understand the value, that show up on the calls, that show up daily in the group chat, that you get access to in your back pocket. How powerful is that? And then lastly, of course, the roundtable calls. Those roundtable calls, there's no format. Typically, you'll end up seeing us sharing wins, sharing losses, getting stuff off our chest, and we've covered anything from, I'm not going to get into it because a lot of it can be pretty sensitive, but like some very powerful things, very powerful. Because the thing is when you surround yourself with that many like-minded men of all different walks of life, all different success levels, all different perspectives, all across the world, There's people in that group that have been through it, will go through it, or are going through it. So you keeping yourself on the outside, that excuse that you're making is robbing you from these types of experiences and these types of value that we find inside of this group. And it's absolutely mind-blowing that information like this is not out there as much as it is. And it's our responsibility as VIP members and as pack leaders and as accountability advisors, accountability managers, member success managers, and BIP big-ass problem coaches, that we are trying to get information like this out there. So for you, what I want you to do, the only homework that I have for you today is, if you have not joined VIP, I want you to get in the homework thread, and I want you to say, send me the link. We'll have a member success manager reach out to you, and they're going to get you all the information you need to move forward and join us. Outside of that, if you have some things you need to arrange, I'm not talking about excuses, I'm talking real life shit. We've had members, again, you're trading bad habits for good opportunities. We've had members that have quit smoking cold turkey. We've had members quit drinking cold turkey. We've had members sell things that did not serve them to invest in themselves. It's $3.23 a day. I will give you your money back if you get in and it ain't what you think it is. There's no commitment. We don't lock you into a contract. There's no 12-month, 6-month, 24-month guarantee. Come in, it's $97 a month. It's $3.23 a day. It's $1,164. I don't know what excuse you have that's holding you back from hopping in, but you're killing that future version of yourself. That version of yourself that you could be in 5 years if you joined today, when you get there, is going to be dead. And that version of yourself, that person might be 6 years down the road, 7 years down the road, 10 years down the road. What are you going to do to buy back all that time? If you could go all the way, that 10, 15, 30-year version of yourself, and look back and have a conversation with you right now, they're going to tell you to fucking do it. So maybe you have to make some arrangements. So 2 pieces of homework. There will be a third for my VIP guys. So if you're ready, and you should be ready, if you're feeling convicted about it, good, because we're feeling convicted about getting this message out there, and we need other bad motherfuckers like you with us. Just comment on the thread, say, send me the link. That's all you got to say. And we will get you the information with the member success manager, and we will get you signed up. Then the next thing is, if you need to make arrangements, I need you to tell us the date that you're going to sign up. Don't bullshit us. Don't bullshit yourself. You know that you need to do this. Give us a date, and we will follow up with you on that day. And third, for my VIP members, I need you went through this. You see how powerful this is. This is a free resource for you to share with others, but I need you to tell me, I need you to tag one person in here that you know needs to join. We're going to move this needle forward. We're going to move this movement on. We spent 30 days together really fucking grinding it out, really coming together and locking arms. But this stuff right here is what matters when getting information like this to as many people as possible that need to hear it. So I want to see you in the group chat. I want to see you on the roundtable calls. I want to see you on the expert calls. I want to see you at the retreats. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is to get signed up today. So hop in the homework thread, get in the feedback loop, let us know, send me the link, what date you're joining, or who you're bringing with you. We'll see you inside.